He sits at the dinner table, a steaming bowl of noodles in front of him. Everyone else is talking money, stocks, apartments, raises. Their voices calm, certain, like these numbers are a part of life itself. He just sits there, hands wrapped around the cold metal of his water glass, feeling the chill seep into his fingers. Maybe I'm behind, he thinks, but he doesn't say it. No one asks. No one notices. Just that quiet, lingering sense of tension, like a string pulled tight across his shoulders. The bank rep just quoted the brutal interest rate on his credit card. The number jumps on the screen. His chest tightens. The beep of the card machine echoes in the quiet room. He inhales slowly, tries not to gasp. Everything feels too fast, too far. He glances around, smiles, raised glasses, jokes. Everyone seems fine. He isn't. Not because he's careless, not because he's lazy. He just never learned how to handle this stuff. No class, no warning, just the reality that money moves differently for everyone else. But this moment, the dinner table, the interest rate, the curious eyes of friends, pulls him back. If he stays silent, hoping it will fix itself, next year will be the same, or worse. The smell of the spicy noodles rises again. The cold metal of his glass presses into his palm. He feels time slipping. The faint beep of the card machine still rings in his head. And he realizes something, noticing the gap, feeling that quiet shame. That's the first step. Not knowledge, not strategy. Just the subtle, awkward recognition that things aren't quite where they should be. You're not lazy. You're not bad with money. You didn't miss some secret class on how to get rich by 25. Take a breath. Let that sink in. He sets the bowl down, finger tracing the rim. Steam curls up and brushes his face. The room feels warmer now, less pressing. He wasn't failing because of him. He was failing because the system wasn't built to guide someone like him. Banks, employers, even schools. They never showed the map. They handed rules, numbers, fine print, and expected him to figure it out. Look around. Friends laughing, talking investments, talking salaries. You see them, but the gap, it's not a moral judgment. It's just information he didn't have. And that's okay. He exhales, taps the table twice. Focus shifts from why me to what is actually happening here. The embarrassment softens, replaced by curiosity. You're allowed to start now. Right here. Right at this table. Right after that brutal interest rate. The warmth of the noodles. The chill of the glass. The faint hum of conversation. All of it is still there. But now instead of shrinking, he can notice the patterns. See the mechanics. And most importantly, he can act. Shame gone, or at least softened. No blame, just the map, just the moment. By now, he's heard it 100 times. Credit scores only improve slowly. By 40, you should have 3 times your salary saved. Investing is too risky if you start late. He nods along when people say it. It sounds smart, sounds true. But then he looks at his own numbers, his own bills, his own paycheck, and it doesn't match. Technically, these statements aren't lies. They're just misleading. Practical reality, different story. Credit scores don't rise automatically. You can pay everything on time for years and still miss small opportunities. Authorized users, timing of payments, even how balances are reported. It's the mechanics, not magic. Savings benchmarks? 3 times your salary by 40? Sure, if life was neat, predictable, perfect. But kids, debt, rent, emergencies, they all move the target. Treating a rule like gospel only adds pressure. Investing late? People think the window closes. It doesn't. The system doesn't reset if you start at 40 instead of 25. It compounds the right way with consistent, small moves. He picks up the fork, taps it on the table. Beep from the card machine. Steam curls from the noodles again. He sees it clearly now. Myths aren't traps, they're misdirections. The emotion shifts from guilt to insight, from confusion to curiosity. He doesn't have to believe everything he's been told. He only has to understand how the pieces actually work. And that changes everything. He leans back in his chair, cold glass pressed against his palm again. Steam curls from the noodles. The hum of conversation fills the room. And suddenly it clicks. Money isn't about luck, it's about the system. How it moves, how it compounds, how it obeys rules if you know them. Not tricks, not hacks, mechanics. Take investing. Most people think, I need to make a ton of money to get ahead. But really, it's not how much you earn. It's how much you keep and how consistently you put it to work. He taps the table with his finger. The tap echoes faintly. That tap could be a month's contribution, $500, $1,000. Doesn't matter. What matters is the rhythm, month after month, year after year. That's how compounding does its work. The system isn't impatient, it's steady, predictable. Debt works the same way, just in reverse. High interest balances grow faster than most realize. Miss one payment, the numbers jump. Compound against you. It's silent, invisible, and terrifying if you ignore it. He glances at the friends across the table laughing, talking about salaries, bonuses. They think they're winning, but if they haven't understood the system, the game's already tilted against them. Then there's the FI number, the financial independence number. Simple math. How much you need invested so that withdrawals cover your life without touching the principal. 4% rule. $60,000 a year, $1.5 million invested. That's it. No magic, no secrets, just math. No, he imagines the dollars as little soldiers. Every invested dollar, working quietly while he sleeps. Every debt dollar, dragging him backward, whether he notices or not. That's the system. It doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't reward hesitation. Understanding replaces guesswork, the blind panic, the wondering, am I doing enough? Gone. Replaced by clarity, clear mechanics, clear targets, clear steps. He leans forward, stirs the noodles, breathes in the spicy aroma. Steam fogs his glasses. He realizes mastery isn't about earning more. It's about knowing the rules, deploying resources, and letting the system, compounding interest, contributions, do the work for him. For the first time, he feels a glimmer of control. Not fear, not shame, just the hum of possibility. Meet Alex, same age as you, same city, no inheritance, no magic job, just a 9 to 5, rent, kids, the usual chaos. He sits at his desk on a Tuesday morning, coffee still hot, laptop humming, numbers sprawled across the screen, bank accounts, bills, investments. He feels the weight of it all pressing down, but he also feels something else, possibility. He starts small, $200 into a high-yield account, a little extra into his 401k. Nothing flashy, just consistency. He sets up automatic transfers. Each month, the money moves before he even notices. That simple action becomes routine. Next, he trims the leaks, cancels unused subscriptions, makes a budget that actually works. That lunch out every Wednesday, replaced with leftovers. That weekend gadget, paused. Slowly, a gap opens between what he earns and what he keeps. 2 years in, Alex sees results. Not millions yet, but $15,000 extra invested. Interest compounding quietly. The anxiety around money eases. The gap between him and coworkers who look rich becomes apparent. But this time, he's not behind. He's moving ahead. By year 5, he buys a small rental property. Another stream of income. Quiet, steady, reliable. Friends ask, when did you get so smart? He just shrugs. No secrets, no tricks, just actions repeated consistently. Alex's life isn't perfect. He still makes mistakes. He still worries. But he has control now. The system works for him, not against him. And that's the point. Real people. Ordinary people. Not experts, not geniuses. Just people who understand the mechanics, take consistent steps, and let compounding and the system do its work. He spreads bills across the kitchen table. Paper rustles. Pen scratches a line through the credit card balance. Coffee cools beside him. He knows where to start. Step by step. Step 1, stop the leaks. Subscriptions he doesn't use. Daily coffee shop trips. Little drains that quietly steal from his future. He cancels. Moves the money. Feels the tiny weight lift. Step 2, tackle high-interest debt. That credit card? Paid off first. No minimums, no excuses. The sound of the final payment hitting the bank app is almost satisfying. A small click of freedom. Step 3, build a buffer. Emergency fund, not optional. 3 months of expenses minimum. He counts it twice. Deposits, confirmations. Every small deposit feels like a brick in a wall. Step 4, invest. 401k, index funds, high-yield accounts. Automatic transfers, month after month. The hum of the computer, the confirmation emails, silent soldiers marching. He doesn't check the numbers obsessively. He trusts the system. Step 5, increase income. Side hustle, freelance work, overtime. Every extra dollar not spent is another soldier deployed. Not reckless, not flashy, just steady, methodical. Sequence matters, not volume. Jumping to step 5 without step 1 is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole. Effort wasted, momentum lost. He leans back, runs a hand through his hair. Paper clutter on the table. Coffee cold. The rhythm of these steps is clear now. One builds on the other. Order creates motion. Motion creates confidence. He imagines the future. Bills paid automatically, investments growing quietly, debt gone. Each action reinforcing the next. A roadmap he can follow. A system he controls. This is how ordinary people become financially independent. Not with luck, not with genius, with sequence, focus, consistency, and patience. He glances at the calendar. 90 days, just 3 months. That's all it takes to see change. Not a fortune, not complete freedom, but movement, action, momentum. He starts with small shifts, raises 2% on his 401k contributions, sets up automatic savings, cuts one unnecessary subscription. The steps are tiny, almost invisible. Yet by week 6, he notices it. A little less stress checking his account. A little more confidence when the card machine beeps. Fast forward 25 years in his mind. The small, consistent actions have multiplied. The $500 invested each month at 40 has grown quietly, patiently. Compounding has done the heavy lifting. Income streams are diversified. Debts are gone. The emergency fund hums silently in the background. He realizes something. It's not about starting at 20 or 25. It's about starting correctly. Starting with understanding, with sequence, with consistency. The time window is wide but finite. Those who begin now, mid-40s, late 30s, still have the power to catch up, to create leverage, to see real results before 60. He lifts his coffee cup, takes a slow sip, and finally smiles a little. Progress doesn't demand decades. It demands clarity, focus, and a start that's intentional. He shuts his laptop. Fingers linger on the edge of the desk. The hum of the fridge. The faint smell of last night's dinner still lingers. Quiet, still. Perfect moment to reflect. The trap is simple, shame. The "I should have started earlier" voice. It creeps in, subtle, silent, and then avoidance. Delay. One more week, one more month. The cycle repeats. He remembers the feeling. Checking balances obsessively. Stomach tightening at the thought of bills. Wondering if it's too late. That's the real enemy. Not lack of knowledge. Not bad decisions. Shame makes him freeze. Freeze makes him lose ground. But once you name it, the cycle loses power. Shame is no longer mysterious. Delay is no longer inevitable. Awareness becomes a shield. He takes a deep breath, taps the desk twice. The sound snaps him into focus. He sees the pattern, knows the steps to break it. The enemy isn't the system. It's his inaction, fueled by shame. And now, armed with awareness, he can act before regret has a chance to settle in. He opens his laptop again. Fingers hover over the keyboard. The hum of the fridge. Steam from his cold coffee curls upward. Here's the rule: 48 hours. No research phase. No waiting. Just one action, one step that moves the needle. He sets up an automatic increase on his 401k. Just 2%. Small, almost invisible. Done in seconds. Confirmation pops on the screen. Beep, click, soldiers deployed. Next, he moves $100 from checking to a high-yield savings account. Emergency fund, buffer, safety net, immediate, concrete, visible. He feels it, momentum, motion. Not overwhelm, not paralysis, just action. This is how change starts. One small decision inside the next 48 hours. Tiny, consistent. That's enough to break the trap of shame and delay. No excuses. No waiting for the perfect moment. It's right here, right now. He leans back, breathes in. Steam curls from the coffee again. A small smile. The first domino has fallen. He sets the empty coffee cup on the counter. The hum of the fridge. The steam has faded. Sunlight hits the floor at just the right angle. Success isn't a number on a spreadsheet. It isn't the salary your neighbor posts. It isn't a benchmark from some article. Success is direction, small steps, consistent motion, momentum. He can choose the path today. One action, $1 deployed, one payment prioritized, one habit changed. The system isn't waiting, neither is time. But he is in control, right now, not later. The benchmark doesn't matter, the direction does. And today he moves forward.